One of the things that I like to to point out, I made this comment with some artistic director friends, and I just think it's a conversation that we really don't talk about. But I've heard a lot of straight men, heterosexual men, cisgendered men, however you want to say it, talk about how the dance industry, they feel limited in it, and only in certain spaces they feel comfortable and protected. So I always feel like that's something that we don't really talk about. Because I always think about the young boys and the young men that come through the Ngoma school and even in Dissonance, where I always fight to make sure that it's a space that's safe for all. And I feel like sometimes we forget that just because there's a rainbow, remember that the rainbow has to touch down on the ground. So everybody is valid under the sun. It's not just having tolerance for everyone else who might not be the majority. So I always say like straight male dancers matter. Um, I feel sometimes that a lot of people want to do a lot of great things as far as visions of things. And being a dancer, sometimes you just do what you got to do because that's the role you play in the work that's being presented. Um, but their voices matter too, in the sense that we should be able to hear them if something's uncomfortable, if something is not necessarily cool. Just like how I would say that LGBT dancers or artists um, will say that they deal with stresses and they deal with being constricted or confined to certain things. There are also straight men that go through the same thing. I just tend to watch and to see how like young boys who really want to dance and are really excited about being a dancer. Like was that that's the story of Billy Elliot. That notion of the boy really just enjoys dance, but the other boys are like, oh no, you can't do that, and attack him. So now with hip hop, there's a lot of straight male dancers that go that way. Whereas because when I talk to them and ask these questions, about concert dance and why not doing concert dance, because there's a lot of them that are really good at it, and they say that you know concert dance is for gay men, and you know I've been fortunate enough to have had in dissonance dance theater straight male dancers, and when asked them questions, just to kind of understand better to make a space for everybody, they said the one thing they appreciate is that they're able to be themselves and not feel like they uh, have to change or give up something in order to be in the space. It's just about the work, and they appreciate the care. Um, and I appreciate that because I feel like it takes a village, and that means everyone has to be there. So we can't make space for, let's say, straight women, but not make space for straight men. And as I hear a lot of directors cry about, there's not enough male dancers, I also say sometimes we shift so far to the left that we forget the other side. And I'm a centrist. I'm really a moderate, so I'm in the middle of most times and just kind of see both sides and say, you know, make a space for everybody. And sometimes just being able to be open to like speak to these people, straight male dancers, and just ask them what they want. It doesn't take much, and just watch your language sometimes. It could be just as simple as how you speak to them. Not every man in dance is gay. So, you know, well, one, if you're a director, you shouldn't be flirting with dancers. But that's just my opinion. But also, do you have a sexual harassment clause in your contracts? Do you have open conversations around these things? Do you celebrate when somebody's a dad, or do you um, have events, if you have social events that they would enjoy? I feel that um, in a lot of ballet spaces there's a larger population of heterosexual men performing and working, whereas um, I don't really see that much in modern dance, but nonetheless, yeah, I just really feel that we should really consider their voices as well, and just the workspaces that they're in, And especially if it's one that's the majority not straight, just making sure that they're taken care of as well. So, like, because everybody matters.